It's important for the G20 to realize that what unites us today is more than what separates us. The India that you see in 2023 is a very different India than what it was in 2014. So our effort is really to use the G20 to make the world ready for India and India ready for the world. We are now chronologically significantly down the way where the G20 is concerned. A lot of the ministerials have taken place. Some of the important ministerials still, some of them have happened, some have more rounds to go. And in a way, you could say the jury is still out. We've had some achievements. We've still had a lot of work in progress. There is some which we hope will progress, but I would certainly flag the development ministers meeting, partly of course because I happen to chair it, but the fact that we were able to get a consensus around the idea of a sustainable lifestyle, that we were able to get really a full focus on the challenges today that SDG realization is facing. We sought to put women-led development more strongly on the table. And of course, one of the perennial issues, but which another track was looking at, and as I said, that's still work under progress, is in regard to multilateral development bank reform. In all of this, of course, there is also the issue of whether we can come up with a credible form of green financing. I think it's something which goes to multiple tracks out here. But I would really conclude by stressing that it's important for the G20 to realize that what unites us today is more than what separates us. I'm not in denial of the fact that there are deep differences within the G20, but I do believe that there's a larger agenda to humanity, a larger agenda for the planet, and it's therefore absolutely vital that we find a common landing point when the summit takes place in September. We hope for a very substantive and for a very impactful summit. And in a way, your own experience would have showed you, we have tried to do in India the G20 a little bit differently. We have tried to make this much more connected with the people. We want our society really to use the G20 experience to become more global, to understand that the problems of the world in some ways are really indivisible, and at the same time it's our endeavor also to ensure that all those who come to India from G20, from the guest countries, from the international organizations, from other countries, that they have an opportunity to see the changes in India, because for us it's really been a truly transformational decade. I mean, the India that you see in 2023 is a very different India than what it was in 2014. And I hope that that's a takeaway that you will carry back in your baggage. So our effort is really to use the G20 to make the world ready for India and India ready for the world. But once again, I'm so happy to see you all, even if it is at a distance. Delighted to interact with you today.